They take down the defending champs on their home turf. This week, Bay Area Panthers win 37-24 over the Arizona Rattlers. And if you want to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. And last year, the Rattlers were the champs. The Panthers right now, the clear front runner in the West. Number one team in the West right now. Joining us, head coach Rob Keefe. And you guys, this week versus the Rattlers, played lights out defense. I've got to say, it's as good as I've seen you guys play defense all year long.
Yeah, man, that first quarter, I mean, just credit to our guys. I mean, what a test of wills, right? I mean, it was just back and forth, 0-0 after the first quarter, and it was about who's going to break first, and so proud of our guys to stick with it. But, yeah, I mean, we were tested. I have all the respect in the world I give to Arizona. Well coached, very good team, a historic franchise, won the championship last year, so we put all of our effort this week into focusing on what we needed to do, and the guys stepped up, and that's the result, right? When you put in all that effort for all the kids out there, right? I mean, you put in all that work. It's really the process of the success, right? That's what's going to come out, man. You put in the work, hard work pays off, and really happy we got that dub.
And again, like you said, Arizona is the team to beat, and you guys lost the first one. I think it was week 8 versus them on the road, in their place. Close one, came down to a last possession, like any great game should in this league. But to turn it around like that, what does that do for your confidence, your team's confidence, as we're starting down the playoff stretch?
Well, here's the deal, right? We're a young team, so hopefully it gives us confidence, but it doesn't make us cocky, right? And there's that fine line, that fine balance. We're 9-2. San Diego sitting at 8-4. Arizona 7-5. Vegas 7-5. I mean, we can talk about all these trap games coming up, but we're nowhere near being done with this. But it does give us that confidence. And I think it gives the players the belief that we are doing the right thing. That the coaches do know what we're talking about, that we do believe in our players. We do have the right guys. Our locker room is so tight and so proud of everyone that I think we really have a good culture and we have a great belief system in one another. And, that game versus Arizona, getting that win, I think it's good for our fans too, right? They're real, oh, man, we have a really good team, at our hands. And so it's giving everybody that confidence. And now it's a matter of just continuing that process, continuing moving forward in the proper manner.
And you talked about having the right guys. One of the right guys, Josh Tomas, he's going to be joining us in a little bit. He has been playing. He's been just such an instrumental part of the offense for you guys this year. Talk about what he means to this team and what he's doing out there, because he's not a big guy, but he was being physical all night long against Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, MVP candidate, right? I mean, look, we're really promoting him to be the MVP candidate, but, he should be, right? I mean, he's scoring almost damn near all of our touchdowns. I mean, he's doing such a heck of a job. And Coach Windsor, I always give these guys credit. I mean, we know how to use him, right? But he really has put in the work in the offseason. I'll never forget when I called him last year and where he was in his life, and, very appreciative, very loyal to us to come back for a second year, because he had a lot of options. He could have gone a lot of places, but we didn't really use him the way that we did last year. And I give all the credit. I say this every week to Coach Windsor, to have the foresight that, he's an athlete. So let's put him at the running back spot. Let's flex him out. Let's do all these kind of creative things. And, he's a tough dude, man. I mean, there was one time where a 300-pounder, all his body weight fell on top of him, instantly as a head coach. I mean, I love these guys. I'm protective of them. I jump up and like, oh, no. He got right up like it was no problem. I mean, I would have been broken in half. I mean, that's how tough the guy is, to be 180 pounds, but kick returner, running back, wide receiver, scoring a lot of touchdowns. I mean, really proud of him, but it's all his work ethic. He works very, very hard during the week, and he's just getting better as the weeks go on.
Yeah, the big guy got him, but Merriweather, that dude was just tracking him all night long. That's a good football player on defense as well, and he's one of those guys that just seems to – he's a heat-seeking missile. He finds a way to have solid contact out there. And so, he was putting some hits on Tomas last night, but to his credit, he did bounce back up every single time. So fun to watch on offense. We talked about shutting them out in the first quarter. They also shut you guys out in the first quarter. It was a great defensive battle for that first quarter. Talk about what was happening on offense out there the first time.
Yeah, so, we were a little confused, and then that's okay to say, right? Because we're only going to grow from this, but they were doing some exotic stuff, right? They were zone blitzing. They were dropping 7. They were dropping 6. They were dropping from all kind of different angles. And really what they were doing, they were dropping deep, and they were playing very top downs. They were just, look, Mayweather and Castleberry, these are some long guys, right? And they were just taking up space. They were getting inside of our windows. And Jones, right, Josh, our quarterback, was a little confused, especially when the blitz is coming. So not only blitz means man, well, they were blitzing and there was zone behind it. Plus, they got really long defensive ends, so windows were taken away. and it took us a while to really settle down. And then credit to Coach Windsor, we were able to tie it up at half, 10-10, and we come out and we score on that first possession. Just a great job, and we ran it every single play. So we were able to make the adjustments properly. The guys hung in there. They knew it was going to be a battle, and eventually we got it. And obviously we came out on top. But, again, credit to Arizona. Did really the exact opposite of what we thought they were going to do based on what they showed on film. But that's what professional football is, right? You got to be ready for all that stuff. And I thought we adapted it and adapted well. We handled that adversity, and nobody panicked. I was very proud of that because, in these tough games, you can have some panickers, but everybody was calm in the foxhole, and we talk about that on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and I thought it was great because you versus Kevin Guy, two of the winningest coaches in indoor football, like watching you guys scheme against each other too and watching you guys try to get your team together, it was fun to watch from up top. Kevin Richardson, my partner in the radio booth, he's a defensive guy. He appreciated the defensive side more. I liked it when people started scoring. That's just me as a quarterback.
Right.
Speaking of scoring, Tyrese Chambers came back this week. He didn't get in the end zone, but a big part of that offense, he and Trayvon Alexander both. What was it like getting those guys back in, and how hard is it to kind of reintegrate after you've been out for a little bit for injuries?
Well, yeah, when you're out for a while, right, and all these little minor injuries, right? Luckily, nothing was serious. But, look, it's professional football, and guys that are rookies are they got to get used to playing a 16-game regular season and no fault of their own. But, hey, you get rolled up on, you take a shot. Next thing you know, you got an ankle, you got an MCL, you got an elbow, you got a shoulder, whatever it might be. It takes a while to get back in the mix, to get that shape back, right? So they've been working really hard. Again, all credit to our athletic training staff, our massage therapists, our strength and conditioning coaches, our team doctors. I mean, we got a lot of people that are helping get these guys ready, but they're working really, really hard. And then they got to get on the same page with Josh again. And that's what practice was. But, Coach Windsor, again, very knowledgeable guy. That's what we talked about at halftime. We had to get all settled back down again, right? We had to get back in rhythm. And so the fact that we were able to win that game with a couple guys coming back off of injury, I think is another testament to, the sky's the limit with these guys. But, they buckled down. They were able to tough out. And I'm glad everybody came out, injury-free, like nothing too serious, because that was a very physical football game. But they did their job, and they blocked, and they ran, and they caught, and they, did everything they needed to do to get that victory.
Yeah, and this game is a game of possessions. So if you can keep moving the ball, you want to score points. You get the field goal is great, but the touchdown is what you're looking for. But after those first four stops, your first possessions, your first four were stopped or a missed field goal, from there on out, you scored every time you possessed the ball in the game. And so to talk about growth during a game, figuring out what they're doing and finding a way to make it happen, you guys did that last night.
Yeah, and so proud because, look, as a coach, I've been in these situations a lot, right? I mean, I'm looking at the body language. I'm looking at how people are reacting. Okay, we got stopped. What does that mean? It's okay, right? And then we get a stop. Okay, here we go again. Back and forth, back and forth. Nobody panicked. I'm so proud. I can't wait to talk, as a whole throughout this week about that, about how proud I am of how the players have handled that. Because, look, in a young team, maybe early in the season, that would have maybe made us buckle. That would have been all it took for guys to wig out or throw me the ball or I'm open or what are we doing? Why aren't we blocking this guy? I mean, you get a lot of that early in the season with a very young team, but now we're at the stage where there's no panic. There's all trust. They understand it. We talked about anything of significance you have to earn, and that's really what it's all about. It's not going to be handed to you. And again, they're the defending champions. We knew this was going to be difficult. So proud of the team. So proud of the way we handled that. I mean, that was a true testament of how to battle adversity.
And that's the beauty of teams, right? You come in as a team, as a bunch of individuals, and then it's all about me, and then eventually it's all about us, and then it's all about we, right? And then it becomes all about everything's good, right? We can handle anything that comes at us. And so once you hit that final point where everything's good in a team environment, it becomes a pretty special place. Coach Daly, my coach, used to say that winning is the glue that bonds a team together. And
yeah, winning solves a lot of problems.
Getting 9 wins has really bonded this team.
It has. Well said. I mean, look, you're motivated, right? That's what you do, man. You're a motivational speaker. That's what this is. And it's like, I think you're seeing the joy in me. It was a big game. Awesome. Let's keep it in perspective. It was only one regular season game, but like at the same time, like this is now where you see the growth. I get emotional talking about it. Like as a teacher, you just want to see people progress. You want to see them, grow. And like, that's why I do what I do as a coach. Like, it's awesome to see where we are in this season and to see them really battle every single day. So proud of this team.
So we'll flip over to the defensive side of the ball now. Jonathan Ross, another guy that we've got coming on the show later on. He's a guy that a few weeks back had to sit, and then all of a sudden he has started playing lights out. Talk about Jonathan Ross and what he is doing for this team.
First off, he's one heck of an athlete and he's one heck of a person, right? And there was a little lull in his game, right? And he didn't do anything wrong. It's just we wanted more of him, right? And so, we didn't start him one game and it lit a fire, right? And so everybody has a different button to be pushed. And I say this out of respect to Jonathan because he's a great player and we had to kind of, put him back in the reality that we want more from you. And since then, man, he has been kicking butt. He's been a captain a couple times this year. We like to rotate our captains around, but he's earned it, right? Our captains on our team, it's about what they do throughout the week to get in that captain position. He's done an amazing job. Such a tremendous athlete, leading our team now in sacks. Got interceptions a couple weeks ago. I mean, he's at that stage where, you're seeing the athletic ability. Went to Bowie State. Then he graduated, really, if you want to say, to the next level, went to University of South Florida and had just an impact. Sometimes that doesn't happen. When these D2 guys then go to the, an FCS school or FBS school, it might not translate well. He is a heck of an athlete. And so proud of his just growth, his development as a mature player, getting better every single day. Sky really is the limit. I know that's a cliche term that I say for him, but he's just cracking the surface. A very young player, too, in his own right. We got him last year, probably about this time at the, maybe the end of the season, maybe only had about 4 or 5 games with us. So this is really just his first full season with us, and can't wait to see where he really grows into.
And the next guy on defense who just joined the team, again, just rejoined, I should say, Wes Bowers at that linebacker position. He's a difference maker out there. Talk about Wes.
Great person. So happy. He actually was teammates of Jonathan Ross, right? And that's how I found Jonathan Ross, because they both were at Bowie State. Then Wes went on to Georgetown. Jonathan went on to University of South Florida. And but Wes is an amazing player. He's really the heart and soul of our team. He was a guy who won a championship with us in 2023. In the second game of the season in 2024, tore his Achilles. That's a really difficult injury to come back from, and especially a guy of his size at the middle linebacker position. He's a big linebacker that can move really well. You talk about a full year to recover, the mental aspect of that, the emotional toll that takes on your body, not knowing if you can play, the trust that we had in each other to get him back here, our athletic trainers, our team doctors, our strength coaches, everybody that put in the work to help him get his body. He's so grateful. And now you're seeing him in his second game back with us, and he's doing damage. He played an amazing game. His communication is off the charts at the middle linebacker position. He's only getting back into shape. Was able to help us beat Vegas and able to help us beat Arizona. He's the glue, man. I'm telling you, he is one heck of a football player. So proud to have him back.
Most great to get that guy back on your team, and great to see guys come back from injury like that as well. So this week, you travel to Prescott, Arizona. You take it on Northern Arizona. This is one of those games, playing at altitude. It's going to be hot. When you're walking around during the day, you got to play on the road. The team doesn't have a great record. What's the message for your team this week going into that one?
The message is, hey, focus on the task at hand, right? Focus on the 1-0 every single day. Coach Ron James, who's the head coach there, coached with me at one time. Coach Shia Burley, who's our offensive coordinator, coached with me at one time. Coach Moss and Coach Windsor, who are with us, and myself, we won a championship with Northern Arizona, 3-4 years back. There's so much rivalry into this. This is going to be a bigger game than I think people are giving this credit to. You're exactly right. Altitude, we're at sea level here, right, at San Jose. We're going all the way up to the tippy top. I mean, this is, you walk into that building, you can hardly breathe. And so we're going to have to be in shape. We just went really high. We got to make sure we're not too high on ourselves when we get back to work properly. But this is going to be a big football game like they all are in professional sports, and we got to make sure we buckle down and focus and give Northern Arizona the respect they deserve.
Exactly. And so we won't look past this one. We won't start talking about the playoffs until after this game. How about that? Coach, appreciate you coming on. Got to get back after it this week. Got a short week coming up. So great to see you tonight. Don't forget, you guys can catch our call on the game this weekend versus the Northern Arizona Wranglers right here, KMBR 1050. Game starts at 6:05. Our call starts at 5:50, Kevin Richardson and myself. When we come back, we'll talk to Josh Tomas, the MVP candidate, coming up after this.